a little son of a bitch real quick.
What, before you go live?
Well, no, I clicked it. Basically, I'm just trying to make sure that there's some oh, how do I say it? Dead space so it doesn't like automatically click off by itself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful noises. I don't even know. Can I pick this up? Alright. Well, I'm just gonna exit because it's gonna distract me if I don't actually talk about her. Alright, so how do we start this? Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, however you want to listen to this podcast. Is Nezrak Sins here on Gaming Beyond? I have somebody with me named Virgil's Revenge.
Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. I am here.
And today we're doing our Tuesday podcast. It's kind of a spin off. We talk, just bullshit around. I got random topics to talk about. We play around with the idea, and then we call it a day. Very simply put, just a friendly reminder: if you haven't joined our community and you want to join our community and see what everything is about, you can always hit us up on Twitch and YouTube and all social media with our names properly. So, Nezrexins is how you can find me on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And my friend Virgil's Revenge here is the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into it. So if I remember correctly, there was over 50 movies that were created or I say created, over 50 movies that were released in 2019. So I basically went with what was the best top 5 movies for you in 2019 to get away from this whole 2020 pandemic.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say that my number 5 would be the Avengers Endgame.
Number 5, really?
Yes. I'm not the big superhero Marvels type fan, but, it was a good movie for me, and, it had some of my favorite characters there.
I
I'm
think
just not the superhero
everybody would
type guy.
disagree with you right now. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. But my number 4 is actually quite surprising to me personally. But what was your number 5?
My number 5 is just gonna be simple. I haven't seen 5 movies that was released, and um, I took your little shits out. Go lay down, box. Go. I don't need you here. That little shits. I haven't seen 5 movies, but if I was to go off of what I have seen so far, which will be only 3 movies, maybe 4. So because of what like the circumstance I'm in, I don't go to the movies and watch it, but I have seen CinemaSins. So my number 5 is probably going to be It.
It. Wow. Why it?
What do you mean why? So this is one of those movies where I actually saw CinemaSins, and CinemaSins always bring up like flaws in movies and how things work and all that fun stuff, right? And
Yeah.
so to me, it's more entertaining, and everybody was hyping about this movie. It's like, oh, it's just a re-release. It's gonna be great. It's a new actor. Blah 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 blah. I want to go see it. I want to do this. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, I even told the people at the time, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until it gets on to Cinema Sins. And the one that came out this year was Part Two, which is just the older version, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So
Yeah. Where the kids are older.
yeah, and they actually kill him. So I mean, it was a good movie. Who's the?
Well, talk about spoilers. Shit, I haven't watched the movie, man. Come on.
Have you not read the book?
No.
Have you not seen the original?
No.
Yeah, they fucking kill him, bro. Like they outright like kill him. That's the gimmick. Let's see. There is very little names I know, but faces I know a lot. Like Bill Harder. right? As Richie Torres, or is that backwards? No, that's right.
You got me.
Um, Stephen King. No, I was kidding. Man, the guy looks
Oh
like
my damn.
I don't know if he was actually in it. Like I said, CinemaSins just glazes over a lot of this stuff. I don't know actors. I only know names, and that's the shitty thing about me. But chapter 2 of it is definitely going to be my number 5. Going to your number 4,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, my number 4 is actually Zombieland Double Tap.
You watched that one?
Yeah, I watched it while I was at my parents' house. I got about halfway through it before I had to go home, so I watched it whenever I came home. It's on HBO right now. So watching it, it I don't know. I kind of wish it was better. You know, I think the only best part, and spoilers, would be whenever they meet their, I guess you would say their clones of themselves. You know, they meet their lookalikes basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why it's my number 4. You know, it wasn't as great as the first one, unfortunately, but it was still up there.
Yeah, Emma Stone was in this, wasn't she?
Who?
Emma Stone.
No, I don't think Emma Stone was in that one. At least,
It it, it
I'm not good
says
with actors.
it's literally like you Google cast of Zombieland, and she's the third one.
Is she?
Yeah,
Zombieland Double Tap, right?
yeah, yeah. Dude, she's on the fucking cover, bro. She has red hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Shit. See, I don't know actors, so when you say Emma Stone, I'm like, huh.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to write this. Who's your lightly put it? Who's your dream fuck? And Emma Stone has been on top of my list for the longest time. Just saying. I don't know why, but I feel like I want to punch Jesse Eisenberg's face in so hard. It's like he physically just. I want it. What did
Which
he get?
one's Jesse?
The dude.
Which one's Jesse?
Not the hard ass, but the one that made the rules.
Oh yeah, the 73 rules and counting.
Yeah, I got a 6.7 on IMDb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your number 4? Even though you haven't watched the 4th.
Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it came out 2019 as well, and it was another one that I watched CinemaSins. Yeah, the only reason why I watched the CinemaSins of this one was because Mika said she wanted to watch it. She wanted to actually watch the movie. I was like, yeah, I agree. We'll watch it eventually, and then we never got to it, and then the CinemaSins came out. I'm like, oof. And I waited a good 2 weeks before I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So it's great movie, great in a nutshell. Unfortunately, crunching it down to 20 minutes explained the entire premise of the movie. So it's just another episode of Pokemon for me. But yeah, that's basically it. It's just fucking around. Like the twist at the end. Like I think I had to rewatch the ending twice to understand what actually happened. But you've seen it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so the fact that, spoilers, of course, Pikachu is the father, it's just one hell of a loop for me.
Oh yeah. that that was actually great to see. Hell, I can't think of his name. Deadpool. What's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Just to see him walk out and you hear the voice, it's like, that was Pikachu. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was great.
I mean, I understand you don't have, like, a lot of associations with the Marvel movies and all that, but that's a name that you should probably memorize, bro.
Well, it's just being tired right now. It was like at the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't get it to come out. I couldn't get it to pop into my mind where it should be.
And that's what she said. Anyways, moving on to your number 3.
Okay, number 3. I had Aladdin. Okay.
Really?
And the reason why.
Really?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me pull up the IMDb for this bitch because I heard a lot of bad things of this.
Did you?
Yeah. There it is. Okay. Let me see if I can find the Rotten Tomatoes of this. I swear to God that this movie was like hardly criticized. Am I reading this right? You gotta. Okay, so I don't know how you you rate it on this. I may be a little. The old system was better, which it would just give you like a number overall. But the tomato meter with a total count of 362. Okay, I see. It was fresh versus not fresh. Okay, yeah, no, this actually got a 94% for
So
Aladdin.
that's good.
That's really good. It's a scale of off 100. But like, but that's not the best movie, not the worst. I heard like because of the whole genie scene and how just like I heard a lot of shit about this.
Which genie scene?
When they're in the Cave of
Yes.
Wonders.
I don't know. I liked that scene. I mean,
Okay,
me
okay.
personally,
So to point out, it's because like during the movie's like speculation, there was a scene where Genie shows up, and it's Will Smith, and he's blue,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
that was the entire clip. It was a whopping like 3 to 5 seconds, and everybody like demolished it like left and right.
Well, if they paid attention, though, it was the lighting that made him blue in the movie. But
Right,
not to
but
get into all that.
I mean, not to also say that nobody knew that because it was only 5 seconds of video.
Yeah.
Well, like I knew that like later on I saw the CinemaSins and stuff like that. Like I saw that Genie was black and he was him and all that fun stuff. And he did fine, but it's just like that scene alone just pissed off a lot of people. I guess
I'm pretty sure everyone was like they didn't want him copying the old Genie, Robin Williams and stuff.
Well, I'll be
They
damned.
wanted him to be his own. What?
Yeah, this movie actually came out in May 24th.
What, Aladdin?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that's pretty special.
Wait, why is that special?
Well, because it's really close. Like, yo, I'm on my shaman, by the way.
Excuse me.
But yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was your number 3.
Yeah, that was my number 3.
Uh,
Your turn, buddy.
Fuck. What 3 movies did I say I saw? I think I know what my number 1 is because it infuriated me. Yeah. Okay. So my number 3 was, unfortunately, my final CinemaSins, which was The Rise of the Skywalker for Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Another letdown of a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a letdown for you?
It was because it was CinemaSins. That's the only reason why I say that. We're
So you haven't personally watched it?
not the full thing from start to finish.
Man, you should watch it.
They got bruh. Aladdin got a better score than this bitch.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I was right about this letdown. I forgot what kind of killed it for the movie. I just remember how even the guy talking about CinemaSins like helped summed up some of the story, and he's like, even this is a letdown. They could have just like done this, and this, and would have been better. And I was just like, oh yeah, they could have, huh? Um, I think it was the part where she fell into the dark cave, or she was drawn to it, or something like that. Um, was the kicker, and that's all
Oh
I
yeah.
remember.
Hmm.
But yeah, I got a 6.7 on IMDb and a 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my number what 3.
I believe that's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, go ahead next. Number 2 for you.
So, well, that was my number 2. Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker.
Like, okay, let me hear some praise about it then. Like,
Yeah, I love the actual fighting scenes. Seeing and spoiler, my goodness, Palpatine, having him come back and watching Rey and what's his name, Ben? Yeah. I'm so
okay,
used to.
I remember what it was. So I watched the CinemaSins, didn't think anything of it. It was just another Star Wars movie that ended badly. And then I turn around and listen to the podcast I listened to, where the D&D guy is just a huge fan of Star Wars, and he just preaches and like breathes and like everything Star Wars. And as soon as he had something to say about it, almost literally all hell broke loose. He's like, they could have done this, they could have done that, they could have done this, and still tied it in, and da 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 da. And then he was talking about the first Sith Lord too, where
Oh yeah.
yeah, they could have. I think they used his name or like his cult or something like that, but they
Yeah.
didn't like. So that he is canon now, but he's just like, yeah, they could have just said his name like verbatim, and then just all hell would have broke loose.
Yeah.
And then Palpatine is like nothing compared to him, because it's like it's Palpatine's master, and it's Palpatine's master's master. It's him that who he was talking about.
Lord Bane?
Uh, is that Palpatine's master?
No, Bane wasn't Palpatine's master. Bane was a really high Sith Lord, though. I'm gonna say he was in the like top 2.
Shit.
Because it's either Bane or it was Revan.
Dark Plagueis was
Was Palpatine's master.
yeah, and then Master of Dark Plagueis, the Wise. I think it was him that he was talking about. Oh, Palpatine
Oh, yeah.
was Dark Sidious, yeah, and Dark Plagueis, and then the guy that. So what happened was, Plagueis's master revealed the what is it, immortality secret, and then
Oh yeah.
Palpatine found out and killed Plagueis for it, and then basically planted his seed, and then that's what progressed during the Skywalker storyline. And when the guy was talking about it, oh, he was pissed. He's like, they just could have done so much shit. There would have been so much fighting, and Clones Wars wouldn't even matter. Da da da. I was just like, he was going off. It was hilarious. He's like, they could have just rewritten it so they can include the war of whatever, and it's just like, god damn, dude, slow the fuck down. But yeah, that's like, I understand, but that's to me is what like killed it, because like they're literally, even per like Lucas, uh, is it Lucas? Who's the
Yeah.
guy? The guy who originally wrote the Star Wars series.
Mm-hmm.
He was even like, I would have done a different route from what he did, and although it was a bad route, like, blessed be that they did it this way entirely. They just could have done it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. What other positives of this movie did you enjoy?
Well, between the fighting scene between Palpatine and Rey and Ben, it was also the space battle whenever they ended up getting to wherever the Sith planet was. Don't remember what they called it here. But that was probably one of the better scenes as well.
Yeah, there was something
Is
he was talking about, like the Sith planet wasn't even supposed to be a Sith planet. It just so happens to be where Plagueis trapped all the Siths and like caved in the cave where they all gathered and killed them that way, and their soul lingered, and he leached off of that power.
yeah,
And it was something weird like that, and it was just like they could have done like so much better, and that's why when Palpatine talks, um, he says a line that's supposed to be like memorable, or something along the lines like, "I am all the Sith," or something like that.
yeah,
And it's supposed to state that just like the midichlorians and power and all that fun stuff, any Sith before him is a domino effect. So that's including Plagueis and all them above him have all combined his power into Palpatine, and that's why he's so strong. And like I forgot what the last movie, the one that's supposed to take place before this one, that's the Sith guy that they killed in that one helped to unlock the chain.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like if you read the books or something, like it was just like one chain after another being released of these guys being killed just so Palpatine can come back. And Rey was supposed to be a Palpatine, but what ended up happening, she became she had like what do you call it? Like in D&D they call it like awoken, the spell of awakening.
Mm-hmm.
She came to realization to her destiny or something like that, and it just fucked up the plans.
Yeah.
And again, these are
right.
Yeah. This is like all speculation, by the way. It's not exactly what happened. This is just what the information I was told that helped like discredited the movie for me. And you understand why, right? It's because it's just so much more.
Yeah. It's definitely not Lucas Star Wars. It's Disney Star Wars.
Well, even then, like apparently Lucas was like out of his mind because he wanted to like shrink them down and fight the midichlorians on the microscopic level, and I was just like, once I heard that, I was just like, oh, because like technically that's what they were doing back in the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in was a $1 Million Man or something like that. They're like, we gotta shrink down and get inside of them and kill the virus that way or some BS. I don't remember what movie it was, but that was that. Maybe the listeners at home who can say something, actually leave a comment and tell me what movie that was, because I have no idea what it was. I'm sure I could probably reverse Google it, but who has time for that when you have fans, right?
Indeed.
Alright, so my number 2 is going to be a movie I actually saw in theaters.
Okay.
It's going to be Endgame. I'm a huge Marvel fan, and superhero movies is kind of what I grew up on. Like, just if it was a movie that we were going to go see and I was a part of it, it was a superhero movie. Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Avengers, it doesn't matter. It was always something. And it was like that one thing that like my family could buy, like could we all could collab on. Like we understood it. Like all the information was given to us right in front of us, so we just wanted to be a part of it. So Endgame definitely has to be my number 2. And I mean, the movie kind of speaks for itself, and there's a lot of people who are still to this day, like it shows up on my feed on YouTube, pushing theories about Endgame. Like, no joke. I was just like, did you know about this one thing that happened in Endgame? It's like, I'm pretty sure I watched all the theory videos. What the fuck is this? And it's just like, wow. I guess. Because like, they're starting to connect it to the Disney Plus stuff for the shows.
Oh, yeah.
And then, oh, fuck. Don't get me started on the goddamn Mandalorian and what he thought of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked about it too. I actually spoke on it when we were talking about it at work. Although I haven't seen The Mandalorian, which is a bummer. Yes, I need to get my free trial out of the way. I get it. But what that D&D guy was saying was the time jump. What's her name from Clone Wars is supposed to show up.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka is supposed to show up in season 2. And
Nice.
yeah, and it puts her like right at like the age of like 45, 50 in human years.
Yeah.
But because she's a different species that ages alongside humans, she I forgot what race she is, but like apparently they have just saying that our life expectancy is 90 years, like I think theirs was like 120. I think that's what he was saying.
Okay.
So like her being into the Mandalorian will put her almost literally the prime of her life.
Yeah.
And we see some bullshit ass stuff like she fights a copy of Grievous. Man, I'm gonna lose my shit.
That would be so bad, bringing Grievous.
He was a
Grievous
fucking
back.
robot, bro. Like who's to say that they wouldn't? I understand he was cybernetics gone too far, but he was what 2 upgrades away of uploading a brain to a goddamn microchip.
Practically.
Who's to say that he didn't? That's just my point.
Fair enough.
But all right. So going back to your number one.
Okay, so my number one, as a Disney fan, it was Frozen 2.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, that was literally my number one movie. It was especially just the storyline.
Okay, so you're gonna have to like answer some questions for me. I I understand that like has some issues. It got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.9 on fucking IMDb, but nobody listens to IMDb anymore. It got 77% of fresh greetings, so in other words, like the community liked it. And just today I saw that there is a black character that's supposed to be like I don't know, a butler to Elsa or something. So they're actually including people of color in this too, so I'm a little surprised. But sorry, you still there? Bro. Okay, I'm gonna take it that his app just crashed. So he is using his cell phone. So did the app crash?
Yeah, app crash, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Or it was just the chat itself. It
Yeah,
just went on me.
that's Discord for you. Like I do hear the breaks, but I'm starting to get used to it. So I probably just didn't hear you get cut out.
Yeah, but what was the last thing you heard? So I know what to say.
I didn't hear anything. I was telling you that I was surprised that they oh
That they
sorry, fucking hero's texting me on Discord trying to. He wants to know my in-game name.
oh yeah. But yeah, Frozen 2, basically the plot, the story, everything, including the music, basically was great.
I'm still upset that they just copy and pasted Frozen to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, yeah. The first movie over to Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I didn't really like that too much. You know, whenever we jumped into Frozen's world, I really kind of hoped that they would have had something leading from Frozen 1 to 2. or maybe the story before Frozen 1. But no, it seems not.
Shit. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch Matt Pat's or the Game Theory version of it.
Yeah.
But so does Anna have powers?
Pat Powers?
Yes. Does Anna have powers of the fire?
No, she does not.
Uh,
Anna is a completely normal girl.
okay. Does Elsa get fire powers?
No.
I saw the salamander. That's about it, though.
So, spoilers over the movie. Basically, the entire movie is her trying to find out what happened to her parents again. And that's about halfway through the movie whenever they find their parents' wrecked boat. They were trying to cross the place called the Dark Sea, which was them trying to go to a place which was where Elsa's powers came from, per se.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not
Well,
gonna say
basically-
it's a genetic disability. They're just gonna sit there and say that it came from the place that they were.
No, basically, it was actually from her mom. Her mom was part of this tribe that had, I guess, beef with her father's tribe or people.
So we're gonna Romeo and Juliet this shit. Okay.
No, it wasn't a Romeo and Juliet type thing. You would have to watch it truly to kind of understand like the point I'm making at. But they Arendelle, they built this bridge that stops the water from basically flowing,
Mm-hmm.
and supposedly it's supposed to strengthen their lands, but it was weakening it. So the elements that were part of this land ended up getting really mad. You know, shit went south for everyone. And basically, you see different sorts of elements. You see, like, the rock titans, the little fire salamander. You have just the winds in general. And then there's the water stallion that Elsa rides to get to the little ice land that she goes. And in the end, she finds out that her mom actually had powers as well. And her mom and her dad getting together was the piece that was needed to make, Elsa and give her powers.
Well, and also to the quell the lands, right?
Basically. But what happens is, when they have a kid, they ended up having two, Anna and Elsa. Those two together were the ones that were needed to quell the land, to make it better, to make things right. And Elsa even says, there's two sides of a bridge, one without the power and one with power. It takes both of them together to actually fix things.
No, I
And
enjoyed the synopsis, but can we dumb it down a little bit more? I mean, let's say dumb it down. I meant like speed it up. I understand the yin yang kind of crap going on because Disney likes to pull this bullshit, but I'm talking along the lines of like, fucking. So there was nothing new. It was just a lot of songs, a lot of like, oh, I'm a magic person. I gotta go do a magic thing. Oh, by the way, family means Moana. Like, legitimately, that can sum up the movie, right?
You're stupid. But yes.
But yes, okay.
Watch the movie. It was good. That's why it's my number one.
I actually sat there and said, like, I want to watch Frozen 2, but it's just like, Like, when am I gonna have time to even like not pay attention to it? Is a better like question.
Knowing you, you'll find a reason not to pay attention to it.
Every time. But well, it sounds like you enjoyed that movie. My number one is
Yeah, it was good.
pretty simple. I don't know if you've seen it. It's another movie that I saw in theaters, and it broke my heart because Tom Hanks has done a lot of movies, and you know him being part of it kind of just kills the mood, I guess you could say. And they left it wide open for a sequel, and I hate them because fucking Disney. And that is Toy Story, what, 4? Sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, yeah.
The Toy Story 4, like, that to me was one of the better movies. Like, as soon as I Googled it, I'm like, oh yeah, Toy Story 4 is in my top 5 right off the bat. Like, I enjoyed the crap out of it. It was my childhood finally being put to rest kind of thing. And it got 94%. As soon as Forky said, "I'm trashed," I am what trash is to her. I nearly busted out in tears. Or however he said it. He basically says, "I'm her trash," and signifying that trash is where he was wanting to go because that's what he is. He is trash. He wants to go back home, and then
Yeah.
fuck. Ah, give me a minute.
Okay. And guys, anyone who's listening to the podcast, this just so happens to be one of those famous moments when we say a minute and it turns to 5 or 10 minutes. So, sit back, lay back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the wait. You know, put a couple videos on your phone or your computer, whatever you're not using to listen to us on, and just enjoy the silence.
So, speak of which, for advertisement, we're gonna sit there and say that I am doing it through Anchor right now, and I'm also clicking on an RSS feed so people can subscribe to us without subscribing to us. And so, if you want to be a part of that, feel free to go on. And we are part of the Game and Beyond community, and if you want to be a part of that too, feel free to join our Discord, which the links will be down in the description. So, ringing back to what I was talking about, Toy Story, like when Forky said, "I'm her trash," legitimately just had me in tears, and like not bawling, but just like tear run down my face because like I feel that, like and turn to my wife, I'm like, "You're my trash," and get smacked,
I could see that.
So
I could see you doing that, and you just getting like slapped straight across the face like 3 times. I could just see it now, just pow, pow, pow. It's like, how dare you?
well, no, she didn't smack me, but she did, just like fucking really. I'm like, yeah, because it hits home. Like, you sit there and like you are always in like a trashy situation, and somebody pulls you out of it. You're gonna idolize them to the end of time, and that's what my wife has done for me. So, like I said, it hit home. Like the movie itself just hit home overall, and the fact that we left Woody behind, kind of just heartbreaking.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Yeah, when Woody stayed behind, I was like, man, they left this open for another movie, but how are they gonna do it without Woody now? Or is it only going to be about Woody and Bo Peep?
No, like if they do anything, they'll cut to them or make shorts out of it. You know how they are.
Of course, of course.
All right, so that's the end of the podcast, guys. Thanks for listening. Nezrak Sense here once again. I'm gonna go ahead and do our little advertising bit. If you guys enjoyed the show, enjoyed how we talk to each other or our community in this sense, feel free to hit that like button, rate us on Spotify, do all the fun stuff. If you also want to be a part of this community, go ahead and go down to the description and join our Discord server, and I don't know, use code GOOSE, I guess, for to know that we came from the podcast, and that's probably going to be a running thing. So, again, guys.
Stupid.
Yeah. Again, guys, thank you for being here, Justin. Thank you for being here. And I'm gonna go call my wife back.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. Bye bye.
Peace out, guys.